In 1998, British constructor Arrows never won a race after 383 attempts, the highest of any team in Formula One history. They came close 5 times in 1978, 1980, 81, 85 and 1997.
We have a full grid, and
I'm not superstitious, but
we will be bringing you the races on Monday and Thursdays from 8 PM.
For example, Graham Hill, Damon Hill and Phil Hill.
So I will just sort out my screen here, and then we'll get you in to the short qualifying session. Where, here we go, some people coming out onto the track, including Easy Life. Welcome in. I'm just doing something, bringing up the chat, so I can only see my own chat. If I bring up the DRS one, I'll be able to see that as well. There we go, that's better. And Easy Life's on an out lap. Looks like we've got an Alpine or a Williams, going to be the first one to start a flyer. Not that one, maybe the other one. Here we go, it's in Dynamum. To be the first one to start a flying lap. Short qualifying, followed by a 26 lap race around Silverstone. Now we will follow in Dynamum around. Yeah, we'll be live Mondays and Thursdays from 8 PM. And then I'll be back racing on Thursdays myself at 10 o'clock. And then 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday as well, the late one. Pleased to bring you all the action from the Dynamic Racing League. I've been here for a little while now with this league, and it's brilliant. So, looking forward to more this season. As in Dynamum, we'll hope that that Alfa Romeo gets out of his way as he's on a flyer, and he maybe had to lift there, and he's abandoned lap. That was maybe a little bit of interference there from, I think it was King Kong. It was unfortunate. Who is going to set the first lap time? Let's see. We have Levi Hughes across in 1:27.1. And MK5 takes a provisional pole with a 1:26.5. Easy Life is over in 1:27.9. There's an Aston Martin coming round. Is he starting a lap? I think so. There is Fatlep, a new one, a new driver in the Haas. It's a 1:27.4. Not seen that name before. So 4 of the 20, make that 5, 50 gent, 1:28.1. And Ninjas 1:29.3 in the Haas. Here comes Skippy towards the end of his lap. And it's a 1:27.4 for Skippy and up into 4th place. So both AlphaTauris in the top 4 at the moment. Let's pick up Sainsy. As King Kong sets a 1:27.7. Round comes an Aston Martin. Smug sets a 1:26.7 in the Aston Martin. So that's 2nd place at the moment, and Syme just behind in 3rd. Sainsy is well down on this lap and goes a 1:31.9. So Sainsy well down the order at the moment. Syme and Smug get there, both setting 1:26.7s. Not quite getting to MK5, who is in the lead at the moment. Still plenty yet to set laps, most of them are out laps. Here's Boris Johnson coming towards the end of his lap. And Boris is going to go 1:26.7 as well. And into 4th place. Look at them there, 1:26.7 for 2nd, 3rd and 4th at the moment. Let's go and pick up Swanton Bomb, shall we? Here he is. Still on his outlap. So we'll give his full first attempt a watch, shall we? 10 minutes remaining in the session. And Swanton's going to make his first attempt. I will keep you up to date on all the others who are going to come round a bit ahead of him. That'll include Ronnie and our Newt, Scornful Griffin, in Dynamum and Joker, who are all out on track at the moment. The Sloth has set a 1:27.3. He's into 6th place. And our Joker, 1:26.6, goes into 2nd. Joker into 2nd. Ronnie has done a 1:28.1 and is 12th. This is Swanton. Our Newt and Scornful Griffin, provisional pole position. Our Newt to 1:29.7. He's right down the order at the moment. Scornful Griffin 1:26.4. Swanton Bomb 1:26.6. And he goes into 4th. So just Ben Lane then left to set a lap. And he now does so as we come to him, a 1:27.3, putting him in 10th. So we have the top 8 all in the 1:26s. And then the next 7 in the 1:27s. Competitive as ever, everyone has had a banker lap in. And we have about 8 minutes left of the session.
One of the longest broadcasting practices, and also one of the shortest. 2021 lasted over 3 minutes and 27 seconds. The race being flagged.
Here's MK5, and he is up on his time. So let's stick with him. And MK5 goes into provisional pole position with a 125.9. Scornful's making his way back round. Here's Simon, not sure what the timer's saying there, but he's starting a flyer. So let's stick with Simon, shall we, on this second attempt. MK5 on provisional pole at the moment. Simon is up on his time. The purple on the track map is always a good sign. Many people's favourite track, Silverstone. Of course, they go in real life next weekend. And Symes nicely through there, and he's taking nearly half a second off. So he could be climbing up to a top 3 spot here, or better. Into the last couple of corners then. And across the line comes Simon at 126.1, which does take him up to second. It's P2 for Simon at the moment. Boris did not go quicker that time. He may have been on an outlap, so we will stay with Boris Johnson now and see how he does on this lap. He's 2 tenths down on the first sector. There we go then, try to ignore all the yellow flag warnings, usually just from people going slowly to let other people past. How is Boris doing here? We shall see. And around the last couple of corners comes Boris Johnson and doesn't improve. No improvement for Boris. Here's Smug. Hello Mansis in the chat. It is short quality, 18 minutes. And Ben Lane is out. Ben Lane is out of the session. Smug has abandoned this attempt. Some more coming out of the pitch. Just 3 minutes left now. Skippy's coming back in. He's going to have to be quick. Ronnie has took nearly half a second of his time in the first sector. So we will stay with the Williams. Bit wide there and has invalidated. So Ronnie has invalidated there. Here's 50 Gent. down the last couple of corners comes 50 Gents. And does improve to 12th with a 127.4. A good jump up the standings there. Newt cruising round to start his final lap. Easy Life has invalidated. He might be trying to get another go in. Here's Sloth, and he's slightly up on his time. So we will stick with him. Top 5 all on out laps at the moment. And Smug is a bit further down the track as well. So we'll stick with Sloth for now. As he comes to the end of the lap. 127.3 is his time to beat. And he does a 126.8 and climbs to 9th. Let's have a look at Smug. As he's coming round. And is he going to improve? He is. He's up to 3rd with a 126.3. He might be round for another go. Let's see, we've got a McLaren coming round. Is that Scornful? It is. He is 4th at the moment. The other McLaren is Easy Life. It's just gone through. Al Newt in the second Ferrari comes across the line in a 129.9. That's not going to be an improvement for him. Joker is starting a lap. Ronnie is out. The two Hasses coming across the line. Fat Lap is up to 5th with a 126.5. Have a look who else we can see. Somebody's pitting. The checkered flag has been thrown. So we'll keep an eye on who is coming round now. Here is your current leader. MK5. And MK5 improves his pole position time to 125.8. And surely he's going to keep that now. Fat Left is down on his time. Here's Joker. And Joker comes across the line with a 126.3. But possibly was invalidated as that hasn't come up on the timing screens. So who's left? Skippy was slightly down on his own time, slightly improves it but doesn't improve any placings, and that is going to be your lot from qualifying. And it's MK5 on pole, Syme in second for Ferrari, Scornful Griffin third for McLaren, and in Dynamum fourth. A great qualifying session for Alpine 1 and 4. Then it's Smug in the Aston Martin in 5th. Fat Lep's Haas is 6th. Joker's Alfa Romeo is 7th. Swanton for Red Bull is 8th. Boris Johnson for Williams 9. And Sloth is in 10th for Aston Martin. Then it's Levi Hughes Alpha Tauri. King Kong Alfa Romeo. The two Mercedes of Ben Lane and 50 Gent. 13th and 14th. Skippy is 15th for AlphaTauri. Then it's Ronnie for Williams 16th. Al Newt's Ferrari is 17th. Easy Life's McLaren 18th. Sainzy's Red Bull 19th. And Ninjas in the Haas will be the back marker to start the race. We will have a short pause. Hello Gentian chat there. Do come in and give us your race predictions in the chat, either on mine, twitch.tv/blobby_butler, or of course the league, Dynamic Racing League UK, live on both channels at the moment. Do pop in, I'll give you a shout out. Do give us a follow while you're here. I've been pre-warned there will not be a formation lap because of a game glitch. So we will not be having a formation lap. But we will be having our usual little pause now to allow drivers to sort their strategies, etc. And it's rain in Silverstone. The Great British July weather strikes again, and it looks like very heavy rain as well. This could be very interesting indeed. Miller Vanilla is asking, how is Lewis a Pro-Am on a Thursday? I can't answer that question. That's one for the guys in the Discord. Normally at this point we would take you through the standings, but it's the first race of a new season, so there are no standings at the moment. Miller Vanilla saying he thinks he's going to get slapped about. Well, I hope not. Lots of wheel-to-wheel action, that's what we like to see here. And that's what we've seen over the warm-up events on the game. So hopefully it comes back and continues that way. But with this weather, it's going to be a difficult one. Here we go. And we are underway. Away we go. And MK5 leads away from Syme. Scornful Griffin is being challenged by Dynamum. A few people off at the back. And we've got a safety car. At least a virtual one. Because Levi Hughes and Ronnie are out. Levi and Ronnie are out. Some others had some problems at the back, but we've lost Levi and Ronnie, and it's a full safety car. It's a full course safety car. 50 Gent has picked up a 5-second penalty, and it's a full course safety car here in the rain in Silverstone. Everyone is on the full wet tyre, as I predicted when I saw the pit lane early on. The safety car is on track, and we'll pick MK5 up as he comes round. Anyone who's got damage will be grateful that it's a safety car, of course. And the front two remain the same, but in Dynamum's Alpine is now up to third. Fatlep is up to fourth. Ahead of Scornful Griffin, who just got squeezed out there at the start. Then Smudgit is in sixth for Aston Martin before the Alfa Romeos of Joker and King Kong. Then it's Easy Life up to ninth for McLaren. Sainsy up to 10th, those two started quite far back. Then 9th and 10th. Then it's Skippy, Ninjas, Swanton has lost positions and his front wing, as you can see. So he'll be on his way to the pits. Joker is going into the pits. Swanton is going into the pits. So Sloth will go forward a bit. 50 Gent is going into the pits and has picked up another penalty. Who else is in the pits? Joker, as we said. 50 Gent, Swanton and Al Newt are the ones who have pitted. They of course will catch the rear of the field. But 50 Gent has already managed to pick up 2 5-second penalties. So an eventful start then. Didn't see what carnage did ensue towards the back. Levi Hughes and Ronnie the victims. They are out of the race. Have we lost the screen? Something may have gone wrong slightly there, but I think we're back. Thanks for comments in chat. That's very strange. As you can see, Syme has now been picked up by the safety car. "26 laps we are due. We've lost 2 drivers in our first lap. Of course, no mandatory pit stops with the wet weather. So we'll be interested to see. The rain does seem to have slowed a little. And has that smug been disconnected? Nope, he's still there. That must have been Finley, who's also watching along. Apologies if you're getting any sound glitching. Appears to be a little bit croaky in my earphones. Safety car will take round another lap as 50 Gent is just catching the rear of the field now. So I would guess that it'll be in at the end of this lap and we can go racing again. So it's Alpine 1 and 3, MK5 and in Dynamum, with Syme in between in the Ferrari. Fatlep is 4th, from Scornful Griffin 5th, and Smugget in 6th. And it's King Kong Easy Life now up to 8th, with Sainsy in 9 and Skippy in 10. Ninjas from the very back of the grid is now 11th. Then it's Sloth, Morris, Ben Lane, Joker, Swanton, Newt and 50 Gent. Al Newt in 17 and 50 Gent in 18. We've lost Levi Hughes and Ronnie. And the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. The rain did look like it was slowing down since the start, but not on this view. It appears to still be quite heavy. Of course, on comms have no access to the weather forecast or the radio messages, so just have to guess. Here's MK5 then to lead away. And a big wobble. And he tries to get the power down, but he has led us away. And Simon is not that close to him. And Dynamum in third, coming under a challenge from Fat Let. Scornful Griffin is next, and then Smug Git. No changes of position just yet, except further back where Boris Johnson has overtaken Sloth for 12th place. Ben Lane and Joker are duking it out. And Ben Lane gets the better of that one for now. Boris is overtaking Ninjas now, and somebody's very wide. Joker very, very wide there into a runoff area, and he's going to drop to the back of the field. Joker was duking it out for position, and he's ended up going very, very wide. And he's now having to come back through the field. There he is. He's just overtaken Aaron Newt, as has 50 Gent. We'll look further up the field as King Kong is now pressuring Smug Git for 6th. He's going to try and go round the long way. Swanton making a position up further back. King Kong still going to try here. But Smug has defended that well. But a bit wide goes Smug on the next corner. And Sloth is off. Sloth is off at the back. I think there was Ben Lane involved as well there. Sloth was off there, and somebody was ghosted there. That was Fat Lap. That looked like a reset to track to me. Scornful Griffin's off as well. Scornful's off and has lost a lot of positions. And King Kong's still battling Smug. They're now 4th and 5th. And King Kong does get the move done and up into 4th place ahead of Smug. Boris Johnson's climbing up through the field. He is up to 9th. He's just overtaken Skippy. So Scornful Griffin and Fat Lep both having a problem there. Maybe they had contact. It did look like Fat Lep reset to track, but I'm sure the stewards will look at that one. That's not my job. Sainsy closing in on Easy Life, while Joker behind is up to 12th ahead of Ninjas. 50 Gent is making positions up here in his Mercedes. He has overtaken Ninjas now and is up to 13th. Having dropped to the back earlier on as Skippy retakes Boris, and Sainsy makes a move on Easy Life. So many overtakes, I can't keep up. Here goes Skippy on Easy Life now. Easy Life's going to keep that one for now. But he has got Skippy and Boris for company here. And Skippy's trying to go round his outside. And a big wobble from the Red Bull in front. And Skippy has got Easy Life for 8th. And he might get saved. There's a big crash! Massive crash, Easy Life and Skippy are out of the race. And that is a second safety car. Skippy and Easy Life are out of the race. And that is a safety car. Swanton is just leaving the pits once again. So he'll be happy to see the safety car come out. That'll get him back in, at least up with the field. But a massive accident there between Skippy and Easy Life. They were battling away. Sainsy had a big wobble in front of the two of them. Boris Johnson was there as well. And Skippy and Easy Life have both ended up out of the race, unfortunately. Massive accident there. and we're down to 16. So MK5 is still in front, and Sim is second, and Indina Mum is third. No changes to the top three between the two safety car periods. Fourth is King Kong. Smudgit is pitting. Is it time for anybody to gamble for Inters? We shall see. Boris is pitting as well. Anybody else? Let's see. Inters going on for Smudgit. And Inters for Boris. And a new front wing for Boris. Maybe he caught some damage with that massive accident that saw the retirements of Skippy and Easy Life. But Smug and Boris have gone on to intermediates. Let's keep an eye on their pace when the safety car ends, because they're towards the back of the field, only Swanton behind. But if they're quicker, they may steal a march on everybody else who hasn't pitted. If the Inters prove to be quicker than the Wets, these two could have just performed strategy masterclasses. We shall see. It doesn't always work out like that. As we saw in the real life sprint race, the leaders managed to hold it out on the Inters while everyone was quicker on dries but not quick enough. They ran out of laps and the leaders stayed the leaders. Of course, there's not going to be a massive gap with this because everyone is stuck behind the safety car at the moment. We're watching Boris as he catches the field, and Swanton also coming up to catch the field, and Ben Lane has gone. Somebody's pitting. That's why there's movement in the order. Ben Lane is pitting as well. And let's see, it's Inters for Ben Lane as well. He will drop right to the back because Swanton is going to come past him now. They should both catch the field before the end of the lap. So hopefully this will be the last safety car lap. Let's see, Ben Lane has about 10 seconds to catch up. Swanton is just about there. Got to get your foot down here, and hopefully that will signal the safety car to be coming in at the end of the lap. Otherwise, we'll have another lap of safety car. About a third distance then, lap 8 of 26. And 2 safety cars and 4 retirements so far. Bunny's Vengeance cheering on Scornful Griffin in the chat. You'll see Bunnies on Thursdays. Safety car is in this lap. We will go to the front and MK5. But keep an eye on those intermediate runners with the green icons by their name, and see if they climb up through the field here. And King Kong's decided to pit, and so is Sainsy. And one other as well, two others as well, and Sloth. So that's a very strange time to be pitting, because we're back racing. And Fat Lep has been disconnected, unfortunately, and he's losing places. Scornful is up to 4th. And I think there's a Haas in trouble somewhere. Indeed, Ninjas has picked up a 10-second penalty for a bit of a crazy shortcut. And a big off for Ninjas. Smug and Boris have climbed to 8th and 9th. Swanton's climbed to 10th because of everyone pitting as well. There we go, Fat Lap is being passed as he's a ghost at the moment. And he's losing positions hand over foot because of being disconnected, unfortunately. There go Boris and Smug, and they're going to be followed by Swanton and Ben Lane. So out of the top 10 drops Fat Lap. It's unfortunate, he was right up there. At one stage as Smug and Boris are side by side, and Smug also trying to get with 50 Gent. They're almost 3 wide. Smug, Boris, Ben Lane overtaking Swanton at the same time. The two Mercedes right there. 50 Gent is going to lose all the positions. Ben Lane, the fastest man on track at the moment, and he is up to 8th. The intermediate tyres are proving to be the tyres to be on as King Kong overtakes Ninjas. Swanton has pit for those inters now, as will Ninjas. So Smug, Boris and Ben Lane, the ones who did it at the right time, benefiting the most at the moment, and Smug is going to try and make a move there. Boris maybe nudged into Joker there. Smug's gone a little bit wide. Ben Lane's interested now. It's wheel to wheel to wheel to wheel at the moment, and they're almost 4 wide there. Boris overtakes Joker. Joker tries to keep it up the inside, but the wet tyres are not doing it anymore for him. Smug is going to try and make it through as well. And Ben Lane's the other side of him. The intermediate tyre then, proving to be the one. Joker is a sitting duck for these intermediate runners, but he will fight it all the way. Smug trying to go up the inside. Does so, and Ben Lane follows him through. Syme is into the lead because MK5 is pitting. Boris will now go up to 3rd. Joker and 50 Gent also pitting. The front two yet to pit. Scornful also yet to pit. He's being nudged round the corner by Ben Lane. And overtaken by Ben Lane. Boris, Smug and Ben all on a charge. King Kong's on a charge as well. He's up to 8th and sets the fastest lap of the race. The earlier the pit stop to Inters, the better it seems. MK5 has dropped right down to 11th with that pit stop. We have 4 still on track on the wets they started on. Syme in the lead, in Dynamum in 2nd, but not for long because Boris Johnson has taken 2nd place from in Dynamum, who's now got Smug and Ben joining in. Smug now up to 3rd ahead of in Dynamum, and Ben Lane is going to follow as well shortly, we think. Scornful Griffin, Fat Lep, who I'm not sure has got back in yet. He's still a ghost. Ben Lane goes up to 4th. Scornful Griffin in Dynamum, Fat Lep and Syme. And Syme has lost the lead now to Boris Johnson. And Syme pits. And the pit stops, as I said, an absolute masterclass from Boris, Smug and Ben Lane. They are now the front 3. The wet runners having to pit now, except Fat Lep's Ghost, who's continuing in on the wet tyres. Let's see where they all come out. They're all going to be around where MK5 is. Sainsy picks up a penalty. Let's see where these all come out, and if MK5 jumps them all. He does. So does Al Newt and Sainsy. So Scornful and Syme have really had, and we've got a problem for Scornful here, I think. We had a yellow flag, but no, nothing seems to be wrong there. Boris Johnson leads then from Smugget in 2nd. Ben Lane in 3rd and King Kong in 4th. The ones who pitted earliest are the ones who've done the best out of it. Fat Lep is up to 5th after all the pit stops, but he is a ghost car and he will be going backwards. MK5, the earlier leader, is now 6th. Swanton, who was at the back, is now 7th. Ahead of Al Newt in 8th, Sloth in 9th and Joker in 10th. Syme and in Dynamum, Strategy letting them down. They're down to 11th and 12th. Then it's Sainsy, 50 Gent. Scornful Griffin, who's also had a strategy nightmare, is down in 15th place now, and Ninjas rounds off the field in 16th. We're on lap 13 of 26, and Boris Johnson is trying to break the slipstream there because Smug Git is right behind him. Fat Lep is back in. He's going to not be too happy with what he sees, I think, when he gets back into his car. He will see MK5 pass him and up to 5th. And MK5 sets the fastest lap of the race, and Fat Lep's out again. Joker overtakes Sloth for 9th place. A few more gaps appearing now. Swanton is the latest to pass Fat Lep's Ghost, that is still struggling around on the wet tyres. We will stick with the leaders for now as they're quite close together. Boris Johnson ahead of Smug Git. Joker now passes Fat Lep, as does Al Newt. And the Sloth. Syme now overtaking Al Newt and the Sloth together there, as does in Dynamum as well. With somebody's off down there at the back, and it is Sloth. Sloth was off there. Smug has dropped back here from Boris Johnson and has Ben Lane for company now. Ninjas picks a penalty up. Apologies, I was reading chat at the same time and I missed what happened to Sloth there. He is now back in 15th place. Ben Lane looking to make a move on Smug for 2nd. Fat Lep continues to drop down the field. Unfortunate for him with connection issues. Lap 14 of 26, Boris Johnson now a couple of seconds up the road from Smug, who has Ben Lane for company in 3rd place. King Kong is 4th. MK5 had it in the bag. The long-time leader didn't pit under safety car and has now dropped back, but is in 5th place and gaining on the front 4 slightly. Swanton, the safety car helped him. He's pit twice and he is in 6th place. In fact, he might have pit 3 times. Joker is in 7th in the Alfa Romeo from Syme, who was 2nd, he's now 8th. In Dynamum is 9th, he was in 3rd before the safety cars. As Sainsy goes up the inside of Al Newt and Scornful Griffin overtakes 50 Gent. 2 overtakes at once there. And Scornful, only a second back from Al Newt, will be looking to get back up into the top 10 sooner rather than later. Fatlep finally pits. I think he's still a ghost. But Fatlep's finally pitting. He's going to drop to the back of the field as his teammate will overtake him. And Stormful is right in amongst it with 50 Gent and Al Newt here. 50 Gent overtakes Sainsy. Sainsy's dropped 3 places there, all in one. Sloth picked up a penalty. $50 Gent, Al Newt and Scornful all overtaking Sainsy there. Scornful is trying to make a move on Al Newt now. The leader's slightly more gapped out now. Nobody within that second. Scornful Griffin then passes Al Newt for 11th place. And he'll want to get off after 50 Gent next. Sainsy looking to come back on Al Newt as well. Goes to the inside. Not quite this time. Joker sets the fastest lap of the race in 7th. The track is drying and drying quickly. Fatlep has not gambled to go to dry tyres. In fact, he is still a ghost, but he's out on intermediates and is running last. Sainsy and Sloth both chasing Al Newt. Scornful Griffin's away up the road and chasing 50 Gent. Here comes the Red Bull of Sainsy. Likes to pull wide to make a move. And goes up the inside and out, breaking himself in behind the Sloth. And that was nearly another big accident. But Sainsy retakes 12th place from Al Newt, but for how long? That is the answer. Not long. Because Al Newt just took it back and Sloth is going to have a go as well. And Sainsy just keeps in front of Sloth. Good battling in the midfield. These drivers are all going to need some more incidents up front if they're going to get points. Sainsy very wide there. Could invite the Sloth for another go. Syme sets the fastest lap of the race now. He's trying to bridge the gap to Joker. And Sainsy off there. And that's going to lose him the place to Sloth. Just outbraked himself. And Sloth is back up to 13th. Scornful has caught 50 Gent, as I thought might happen. He's going to challenge now to go back up into the points. We'll have a quick look at the penalties, and DRS is enabled. So that tells you all you need to know about the track. Ninjas has 13 seconds of penalties. Sloth and Sainsy 3 each, and Joker also with 3. Who is going to be first to gamble for dry tyres? Because DRS is enabled, which usually means that dry tyre conditions are not far away. We have 8 or 9 laps left. 50 Gent has just picked up a penalty, and Syme overtakes in Dynamum. Dynamum's fighting back though, and they're both racing into the pits. In fact, nearly everybody's going into the pits. Dynamum picks up a penalty for pit lane speeding, but King Kong, MK5, Swanton, Joker, Dynamum, Syme, all in the pits. Dry tyre time. Almost an unsafe release there. Sloth picks up a penalty. He's pitting. Al Newt, Sainsy are pitting. Could Boris, Smug and Ben Lane have just forfeited that advantage they got earlier on by staying out an extra lap on the inters? We will see. Smug picks up a penalty. That's not going to help him, but he is closing on Boris Johnson again. They're surely going to pit at the end of this lap. But where are they going to end up? 50 Gent is up to 5th, behind Scornful Griffin. The top 3 are surely now going to pit, aren't they? Yes, they are. No, Smug is not. Ben Lane and Boris Johnson have pit. Scornful will surely be pitting as well. He's not there yet. Flash of purple on the radar there. Ben Lane's gone to soft tyres, as has Boris Johnson. Most of the field gone to mediums. Smug is out in front, but where are Boris and Ben going to come back out? Scornful picks up that speeding penalty. 50 Gents also in the pits. Dynamum pitted and came back out on new inters. Surely a mistake. He's pitting again. Only Smug Git and Fat Lap then are left on the inters. Boris Johnson does come back out in second, with Ben Lane third, King Kong fourth, but he's got MK5 for company here. And MK5 is going to take 4th place, and does so. Then it's Swanton Bomb in 6th, Joker 7th, Syme 8th, Scornful Griffin 9, and 50 Gent in 10th. Dynamum had to pit twice. Tyre error from him. Fat Lep is in the pits again as well. Into the pits comes Smug Git, but how much time has he lost? He's got a 5-second penalty as well. That's not going to help him. Boris is coming down the back straight at the moment. Where is Smug going to rejoin this race? I get the feeling it's not going to be amongst the front 3. Soft tyres going on the Aston Martin. Boris is rounding the final corner and takes the lead. Smug still exiting the pits. Ben Lane has gone through. MK5 just set the fastest lap of the race, but Smug is going to stay in the top 3 for now. Smug is 3rd. MK5 4th. King Kong 5th. Swanton 6th. Joker 7th. Boris Johnson leads though. A wet to dry race here at Silverstone, causing all kinds of problems and all kinds of strategy issues, and 50 Gent has been disconnected, and that's not going to do his hopes for points any good at all, as he's got Sloth not too far behind. Let's refresh on the penalties, because a lot of them happened there. Smug's got 8 seconds. That's going to cost him a podium. King Kong's got 5. Joker has just picked up a second one. He's on 6. Scornful has 5. 50 Gent has 3. Sloth has 8. Those are the two you're watching now. And Sloth makes up to 10th place. Boris Johnson sets the fastest lap of the race out in front. Sainsy has 3 seconds and Ninjas has 13. 50 Gent will hopefully get back in his car now, having only lost 1 place. There we go, everybody onto dry tyres. And Boris Johnson leads. Fatlep's been in and out of the session. He's right at the back. Hopefully he can get back in his car and finish the race. Doesn't look like points for him. 50 Gent is back in his car. Boris is stretching out in front, 5 seconds ahead now of Ben Lane. Smug is third, but needs an 8-second gap to MK5. I don't think that's going to happen. That lap's gone again. King Kong is next, and then Swanton, but everybody is a bit gapped out at the moment. The nearest battle on track is this one for 10th between 50 Gent and Sloth. Al Newt has now picked up a time penalty. And Boris Johnson is just setting fastest lap after fastest lap. And cruising away to victory here. Sainsy the latest to pick a penalty up. In Dynamum now overtaking Al Newt. I think he's left it too late for a charge to the points. It's been very unfortunate with strategy in Dynamum today. He is currently 13th. 50 Gent is still chasing Sloth. Smug is now within a second of Ben Lane, but that penalty is going to drop him down. MK5 is going to take that podium spot, barring any accidents. We've just had the 2 major incidents in this race, losing Levi and Ronnie on the first lap, and then an almighty smash between Skippy and Easy Life. Both of those incidents causing safety cars. Smug really closing in on Ben Lane. Sloth picks up a penalty. In fact, let's leave the penalties up, as it's more important now than the tyre choices. Sloth up to 11 seconds of penalties, so 50 Gent will get that place off him. Here comes Smug up the inside of Ben Lane. Thank you very much, and up to second. Smug's up to second, but he needs to get away as much as he can, because he's losing 8 seconds to the 2 cars behind him, and Swanton will try and get within 8 seconds as well. But at the moment, Smug is going to drop to 5th. Sorry, to 4th. As King Kong. And somebody's off at the back. That is in Dynamum, I believe. It was in Dynamum in Sector 1. I think had a little bit of a problem. Ben Lane closing back up on Smug.
This was the infamous 2005 US Grand Prix.
MK5 is not far behind, and he might fancy a P2 here. Boris is now 8 seconds clear in front. MK5 could fancy a bit of a chance for an overtake on Ben Lane though, as he's only a second back and there's 3 laps to go. 50 Gent now knows he hasn't got to overtake Sloth. He'll get that back on the penalties. Swanton will climb on penalty, and a penalty for MK5. MK5 picks a penalty up. And that reduces slightly the job that Smug needs to do in the last 3 laps, but not by a lot. Ben Lane will be delighted to see that 3-second penalty come up, as his P2 now looks safe. 50 Gent overtakes the Sloth on track and up into 10th place. King Kong picks up another penalty. Swanton is catching him, but King Kong's going to drop down the order. Syme has no penalties. He's going to jump up a bit at the end of this race. Two laps to go, and you can see MK5 is closing in, but with that penalty as well, it looks like Ben Lane is going to be P2 behind Boris, and the MK5 will have to settle for 3rd. Sainsey picks up another penalty. You can see them stacking up there on your screen. That's 9 seconds for him. Also outside of the points. MK5 is going to try and pressure Ben and Smug into mistakes here. Swanton overtakes King Kong and up into 5th place. His aim now has got to be to try to get within 8 seconds of Smug. And we've got a Haas off. It's Ninjas. Ninjas is out of the race. Ninjas is off and out of the race. Too late for a safety car now. Here's Boris Johnson about to start the last lap as MK5 overtakes Ben Lane. But now he's got to try and get a 3-second gap in the last lap. King Kong and Swanton battling away. Swanton, I'm sure, would rather King Kong left him alone and he could try and chase down that 8-second gap. Boris Johnson has begun the last lap of the race. Ben Lane knows he's just got to follow closely enough, and that'll get him 2nd place. Swanton at the moment not doing enough to close that gap. He's still got King Kong for company. It's going to be a double points finish for Alfa Romeo and for Mercedes by the looks of it. And those will be the only teams to get both their drivers in the top 10. Let's pick up Boris Johnson then as he comes into the last sector. The Williams driver is going to take home the first race win of the season. Boris Johnson wins at Silverstone. Smug will come home in 2nd place but drop down, and off the podium MK5 goes into 3rd place. Ben Lane jumps both of them and finishes 2nd. Swanton has lost time on this last lap. Dynamo's picked an extra penalty up there. King Kong and Joker will both drop behind Syme to 7th and 8th. Then it's Scornful Griffin to come home in 9th, and 50 Gent will round off the point scorers.
1997. Ferrari are the only team to race.
Boris Johnson is your winner, Ben Lane second, and MK5 third. Smug drops off the podium to 4th. Swanton Bomb finishes 5th. Syme jumped the Alfa Romeos to finish 6th for Ferrari. King Kong and Joker 7 and 8. Good points for Alfa Romeos. 9th was Scornful Griffin, and 10th was Mercedes-Benz 50 Gent. So just Mercedes and Alfa Romeo in the points. I'll give you all the other finishers and non-finishers as we go onto the classified results screen. Boris Johnson, undoubtedly driver of the day. A very emphatic victory in the end, after some strategic masterclass in the middle part of the race. Timing that pit stop to intermediate tyres impeccably well. That's what got him on the podium, and that's what got him on the top step, was also his incredible pace when it dried. Ben Lane also timed the pit stops well and took second place by virtue of having no penalties. MK5 a little bit unlucky to have been the leader early doors and then had to drop back and come back through. He came back to third thanks to Smug having penalties and dropping to 4th. So there we have it, the end of another race. The start of a new season. Suddenly it's raining again. How weird. Boris Johnson wins from Ben Lane in second, MK5 in third, Smug get 4th. Boris did get the fastest lap of the race as well, for your notes there. And Swanton 5th, Syme 6th, King Kong 7th, Joker 8th, Scornful Griffin 9th, and round off the points was 50 Gent. Outside of the points, Sloth 11th, Indynamum unlucky 12th, Sainsy 13th, Al Nuke 14th, Fat Lep, who had connection issues and a lap down 15th. Then it was Ninja's DNF right near the end, Skippy, Easy Life, Levi and Ronnie, your other DNFs. I wish it gave me longer than 30 seconds to do that bit. That is it for this week. Not for this week, for today, sorry. Because we are back on the Dynamic Racing League and Blobby Butler Twitch channels on Thursday from 8 PM UK time, where we